What if I told you two ordinary men convinced some of America's richest investors that they had discovered the greatest diamond field on Earth? And for a while, everybody believed them, even experts, even famous jewelers, even powerful businessmen.
Until one scientist noticed a detail that changed everything.
America in the 1870s was obsessed with sudden wealth.
The timing could not have been better. Gold had already created millionaires. Silver discoveries were transforming the West.
Across America, people believed another impossible fortune was waiting to be found. Investors weren't just buying gemstones. They were buying the dream of becoming rich before everyone else. Gold rushes had already created fortunes. Investors were desperate to find the next big treasure hidden somewhere beyond the frontier.
Stories spread everywhere. Lost mines, hidden riches, mountains filled with precious stones. Most were nonsense, but people wanted to believe them. And that made the timing perfect for one of the most successful frauds in American history. The story began with two prospectors, Philip Arnold and John Slack. They arrived in San Francisco carrying something unbelievable, a collection of rough diamonds,
72.
rubies, sapphires, and other gems. Arnold wasn't a famous businessman. He had worked around mining operations for years.
At one point, he even worked for a company that used industrial diamonds in drilling equipment. He understood something most investors didn't. Very few people knew what rough diamonds actually looked like. According to their story, they had discovered a secret diamond field somewhere in the American West. But they refused to reveal the exact location, at least not yet. That mystery made the discovery feel even more valuable, and investors quickly became interested, very interested. Soon, some of the most powerful businessmen in America became involved. Bankers, mining investors, railroad-connected financiers, people who had already made fortunes from the West. Then, something even bigger happened. The stones were examined by experts connected to Tiffany and Company, and the gems appeared genuine.
And that detail mattered, because once respected experts appeared convinced, skepticism started disappearing. People stopped asking whether the discovery was real and started asking how much money it would make. That changed everything. Now the story had credibility.
Millions of dollars suddenly seemed possible. Investors began imagining an American diamond
The authenticity
empire.
cannot
The
be questioned.
excitement exploded. But nobody realized they were looking at a carefully staged illusion. Behind the scenes, Arnold was doing something brilliant and incredibly dishonest. He traveled to London and purchased large quantities of low-quality, rough gemstones, diamonds, rubies, sapphires, stones that looked valuable enough to fool investors. Then he secretly prepared the site, not by mining it, by planting the gems himself.
A trick known as salting the field. Eventually, investors demanded proof, so Arnold agreed to guide a group to the hidden location. The journey itself felt suspicious. Days of confusing travel, constant changes in direction, long rides through remote terrain.
Finally, they arrived, and almost immediately, people started finding gems, diamonds, rubies, sapphires, everywhere. It looked like one of the richest discoveries in history. Investors were stunned. The dream seemed real.
But there was one problem. Nature doesn't normally work like this. To a geologist, the field looked almost absurd. Diamonds, rubies, emeralds, sapphires. Gems formed under completely different geological conditions, yet somehow they were appearing together in one small location.
It was exactly the kind of thing that sounds convincing to investors and suspicious to scientists. A young geologist named Clarence King heard the claims. Unlike the investors, the story created a problem for Clarence King personally. His government survey had already mapped huge sections of the American West. If a massive diamond field truly existed there, it would suggest his team had somehow missed one of the greatest mineral discoveries in American history.
King was skeptical. King led a scientific survey across large parts of the American West, and something about the discovery felt wrong.
So he decided to investigate personally. When King reached the site, at first, even he became excited. The gems were there, exactly where investors claimed. But then he noticed something strange. The stones weren't behaving like a natural deposit.
They looked scattered, placed, almost planted, and the more he examined the ground, the worse it looked. Then investigators noticed something bizarre. Investigators reported finding some gemstones near small holes and disturbed ground around anthills. The holes looked artificial, as if someone had pushed stones into the ground by hand. The field wasn't revealing its secrets, it was exposing the scam. King and his team performed tests. They dug deeper, examined the soil, studied the distribution of the gems. The conclusion became impossible to ignore. The field was fake. Some investors desperately wanted time to protect their reputations, time to avoid financial disaster. According to some historical accounts, attempts were even made to pressure King into delaying the announcement of his findings. He refused. Someone had literally scattered gemstones across the landscape. The entire discovery was a fraud, a spectacular one, but still a fraud. King rushed back to expose the scheme before more money disappeared. The strangest part may be this. Some historians have speculated that money generated by the scheme may have indirectly helped finance additional gemstones used in the fraud. Money from the scheme may have helped purchase additional stones, which were then planted back into the fake mine. Newspapers exploded with headlines. Investors were humiliated. The diamond empire vanished almost overnight. The mine never existed. The diamonds were real. The investors were real. The money was real. But the discovery itself was a carefully staged illusion. And for a brief moment in 1872, some of the smartest and wealthiest people in America believed they had found the greatest diamond field on Earth. They hadn't.